Hello everyone. So we come into our 20th meetings, and our topic today is on how to develop observation checklist. After we have discussed how to develop interview question, we move to how to develop observation checklist. So basically there are three types of observation or observational study depending on the time or the duration of you taking the data. The first one is cross-sectional, and then cohort, and then case design. So cross-sectional means that you observe your participant for one time, like once or during one semester, sort of like that. While cohort means you try to make a comparison between time, like what you have observed today in compared with what you have observed last year or last month. Well, the case design means that you also try to compare how is the development of what you have observed. For example, one individuals, here we have compare one individuals to the others. So what can we expect from undergraduate students might be the first one, the one-shot observation or cross-sectional one. While how many types of observation data? There are actually two types of observational data. The first one is classroom observation, which means that you are as the outsider of the class that you observe. As the next one is self-observation, which means that you become uh, the observer as well as the teacher, because self-observational study means you have a reflection upon the way you teach your students. So which one is good? Both of them are okay. It depends on what you are going to observe. And then there are two types of observational data. Again, this one is related to the time. This one is related to the role of you as the participants. And this one is types of observational data based on how you conduct the observation. Like the first one is the participant observation, which means that involving involving yourself under the study, both as observant and participant, just like self-observational one. And then direct observation means you are the outsiders, just like this classroom observation. So let's try. Okay, suppose that you have the phenomenon classroom management in high school education. Since you have had your internship, you must find some interesting phenomenon during your classroom observation. And then suppose that we decide to construct is classroom management strategies or classroom interaction, because in the classroom there should be um, a lot of interaction, right? If you do not have a lot of interaction, means that the class does not really work. So the theories that we choose, for example, is OTR theories about how to develop positive psychology in the classroom environment. And if you try to find classroom management theories, it is quite bunch. There are a bunch of classroom management theories, so that you cannot only cite one sources. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, but Sutherland can be the most influential one in classroom management strategies. So is that okay to have more than one theory in our research? For sure, why not? And then again, we will always use this rail of thought when you develop an instrument for qualitative research. As for the interview, we have the similar table, and the observation we also start with the construct and then the conceptual definition and the components. I should put S here. So suppose that classroom management strategies and the conceptual definition It is functional combination of the interaction between the rates of teacher based on instructional talk, and then the prompts, the feedbacks, and wait time. So that I choose these all to be the components of my observation. So there are actually 5 components that I will observe in the class. And then how to identify whether these components exist or not. So observational study means that we try to analyze whether some components missing or they exist. So we can use checklist like thick or X, and tally. Tally, you must be familiar with tally during president candidacy, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stripe. Okay, this is tally, this is checklist. So how is the instrument look like? How does this instrument look like? You must use the data number. Datum is the singular form of data. And then observation transcript. Okay, this is what you have recorded in the classroom. And then the teacher said, okay, most of you should have read the story pretty much. What are some ways the author improving her English ability? What do you find? What is something that you underline? Anyone? And then one student answered. She asked, why should she speak English? And then the teacher laughing, why should I speak English? Yes. And then he wrote it in the green board. Why is it not whiteboard? We'll see later. So this is what you have to find out, what you need to transcribe when you do observational study. How's the teacher and then students and the teacher. So from this data, we can observe as well that the students who is active is only one for this session. Okay, but is there interaction? Yes, there is. So I put tick. Is there instruction? Yes, there is instruction. Is there prompts? Many, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 actually, 3 prompts. And then is there feedbacks? Well, yes, there is feedbacks. Yes, this is a feedback. And then is there waiting time? Yeah, because it appears to have the word anyone, means that the teacher should wait for a while. And then he said anyone, and then one student come up with the answer. Interesting, right? So why do we observe? Okay, we observe there are many purposes to identify how the relationship of the student and the teacher, how is the how do they interact, and then how are things organized, and how the people are set up in the classroom. And we in the end we will know what happened actually, what can we learn from the interaction and from the organization in the classroom. So see, this is green board. You will find this kind of board a lot in Japanese schools and Japanese universities. The classroom setting is like this. So it is movable table, so that the students could sit down in a group like this, or they can just face upon the green board, and this is the teacher. So okay, I have already had this one. Okay, so let's try.
Read the story, pretty much read the story. Okay. What are some ways the author recommends for improving your English ability or language ability? Anything. What did you find? What is something you underlined? Anyone?
Watch NHK News in English.
Yeah, watch NHK in English. Yes. You know you can watch NHK in English, right?
Okay, So that's a sample of how observational study goes. You try to record what happened in the class and then transcribe it, and then you put your data in the table just like what we did previously. So in short, how are the relationship? How are their interaction? How does the teacher organize the class and the students? What can we learn from the classroom interaction and the classroom management? So watch, discuss, and share your answer. Good luck!